Welcome everyone to this section of the course on k-nearest neighbors. KNN, or k-nearest neighbors, is actually one of the simplest machine learning algorithms we will be learning about through the entire course. So because of its simplicity, this section will actually be pretty brief. We'll simply cover the theory and intuition behind k-nearest neighbors, and then we'll head straight to a classification coding example to show you how to implement k-nearest neighbors with Python and scikit-learn. Then you'll have an exercise to test your new skills, and we'll go over the solution together. As a quick note, while k-nearest neighbors can be used for regression tasks, that is, where the label is continuous, its performance can actually be quite poor for regression tasks, and sometimes it's even less efficient than other algorithms. So we've decided not to exhibit its use for a regression task. Keep in mind, though, that in the future, if you do want to use it for regression, you'll see that it's actually very easy to swap in a k-nearest neighbors regressor model. And lastly, another quick note is in your studies, you may have also heard of the k-means clustering algorithm. K-means algorithm is completely unrelated to k-nearest neighbors. They just happen to share k as their first letter. So be careful not to confuse the two due to their similar sounding names. They're really unrelated to each other, and in fact, k-means is an unsupervised learning algorithm versus k-nearest neighbors, which is a supervised learning algorithm. In the future, we will learn about k-means, so keep that in mind, but be careful not to confuse these two algorithm names since they sound so similar. Finally, the relevant reading in Introduction to Statistical Learning can be found in Chapter 2. Specifically, you can scroll down to where you find Formula 2.12, and that really starts the discussion on k-nearest neighbors for classification. You'll notice here that the actual formulation of k-nearest neighbors can look really complex, and I think this is a unique case where the actual algorithm itself is so simple, it's kind of hard to figure out the mathematical notation to actually display what k-nearest neighbors is doing. So here we can see the formulation, but you'll see that while this looks quite complex, k-nearest neighbors in practice is actually very simple. So let's get started by going over the theory and intuition in the next lecture. I'll see you there.